All right, Jody, before we start, what month is it?
It's Mental Health Awareness Month and Lupus Awareness Month.
All right, hey, let's go. Let's start the music.
Last show of the week.
Audio Jungle.
All right, we're back once again. This is the CSRN podcast, our week in review. And what we're going to do right now is click on our intro video. That way you can like, share, and comment. This is the CSRN podcast, our week in review. We'll be right back.
I must confess that that dream that I had that day has at many points turned into a nightmare. Now the other thing that we've got to come to see now that many of us didn't see too well during the last 10 years, that is that racism
Not guilty.
is still alive in American society and much more widespread.
Broke his neck after Baltimore police.
A handful of protesters, a handful of criminals and thugs who...
Many in moments of anger, many in moments of deep bitterness, engage in riots. And as long as America postpones justice, we stand in the position of having these recurrences of violence and riots over and over again. Social justice and progress are the absolute guarantors of riot prevention.
Mr. Gray's death was a homicide.
The Negro was freed from the bondage of physical slavery.
The athletes marched onto a stage.
But at the same time, the nation refused to give him land to make that freedom meaningful. Freedom without land to cultivate. Freedom and famine at the same time.
And create jobs for our people.
The Negro is to be free. He must move down into the inner resources of his own soul and sign with a pen and ink of self-assertive manhood his own emancipation proclamation. But I want to get the language right tonight. I want to get the language so right that everybody here will cry out, yes, I'm black, I'm proud of it, I'm black and beautiful.
Individually, we are poor when you compare us with white society in America. We are poor. Collectively, we are richer than all the nations in the world with the exception of 9. That's power right there if we know how to prove it. We begin the process of building a greater economic base. And at the same time, we are putting pressure where it really hurts. We don't have to argue with anybody. We just need to go around to these stores and to these massive industries in our country. Say, God sent us by here to say to you that you're not treating his children right. We come by here to ask you to make the first item on your agenda fair treatment where God's children are concerned. Now, if you're not prepared to do that, we do have an agenda that we must follow. And our agenda calls for withdrawing economic support from you. We mean business now, and we are determined to gain our rightful place in God's world.
Hey, Jody, we are back once again, the CSRN podcast, our week in review, coming to you live from Mott Branch Library. And shout out to everyone, the staff, Kevin, Andrea, I almost forgot Andrea's name, Teresa, Olivia, and everyone here that rolls out the red, black, and green carpet for us week after week. Let's get into some introductions because we've got a dynamite guest today, Jody, and I'm foregoing our guiding principles. Hopefully that may save some time because we've got a couple extra questions for her today. I'm Brother Washington Muhammad, one of the co-founders of CSRN, along with Mike Leonardi and Jabril Bey, and also an active and registered member of the Nation of Islam here in Toledo. That's Muhammad's Mosque, number 91, right there on Brown in Nebraska. And we're working on getting our building back up to, getting that hole out of the building, all right? And getting some work done. It was 12 years ago that we decided that we could speak truth to power without asking permission from our professionals, politicians, pastors, preachers. We could do it ourselves. We just armed with some facts, a bullhorn, maybe a sign or two. And as always, I'm dedicated to respecting, protecting, and defending all Black bodies, no matter the cost, no matter the gains or losses. Oh, Jody, I didn't say what am I wearing today. Today I have on my purple shirt because it's Lupus Awareness Month. So for our sister, Rochelle Roy, I'm putting some work in for her today with my purple shirt, my black hat, my glasses by Optical Twix in Between. And as always, I'm dedicated to respect, protect, and defend all Black bodies, no matter the cost, no matter the gains or loss. This is the home of Black Lives Matter and Justice or Else. It's our way of creating a platform so that we can speak truth to power. We can have the guests on that are already doing the work. So we don't have to reinvent the wheel. We already have dynamite people in our community that's always doing the work. So we highlight them. Jody, I think that I'm going to shut it down on my intro. If you can introduce yourself, what are you wearing? And then we'll get right into our mission statement.
What's up, everybody? Jody J. Summers, child of the system, better known as Spoken Truth, the treasurer of this wonderful organization that has been going on, as Brother Washington said, for 12 years. Counting 12 years.
That's a long time.
That is a very long time. Actually, we got one of our events coming up this weekend that we'll talk about later on in the show. One of the things that finally got people to wake up and it's like, oh, the people on the corner was right. But either way,
man, we always been right. Y'all just got the memo.
Yeah, that is true. Again, a long time ago when we started, there wasn't. I guess seeing that what we started with basically actual rights and stuff like that, it doesn't trickle down to everybody because now everybody's been taxed, the tariff, gas is going up, can't get anything, food's too expensive, and I guess it's equal opportunity to suffer for everybody. Mm-hmm. So,
all right, I wouldn't put it like that, but all right, okay, all right. It is what it is.
If you fit below a certain poverty.
Okay, I got you. I'm just
everybody suffering, as I was saying in the poem that we did. Actually, I did it at the garden, but this was 2 weeks back ago where I did Safe Space about everything is on fire and nobody's able to grab buckets because they got to grab their own buckets. They can't help their neighbors. But we thank you for joining us each and every single week. Again, happy Lupus Awareness Month. I am not wearing purple. I was wearing purple last week from Cat Fest. I always have purple stones after this and stuff like that. We'll describe that in a minute. Also, happy Mental Health Awareness Month. If you're dealing with anything that has to do with your mental. Next month is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. Last month, I think, was also part of women's, but next month we'll be pushing men's mental health specifically. And on that note, I want to say, make sure you take care of yourself. If you need therapy, you need therapy. As long as you are able to get it, whether it be in a clinic or a friend or somebody to reach out. There's a lot going on in the world that you just don't need to take to social media. Social media is not your friend. And then again, it just gives you a soundboard for validation. Most of the people that you are going to see within your algorithm are either going to agree with you, disagree with you, or make it worse in one way. They're not licensed professionals. They're not people that actually care about you. So be careful what you put out online. Also, I want to say, describing myself, because I forget to always do that.
Right.
So of course I got my hat on. I am a big brown bear, the man that is covered in crystals and jewels and chains and stones and bones and artifacts. I'm doing this for the last 7 years, writing 35 books, being in 6 or 7 movies, starting 9 nonprofits and organizations and stuff like that. The things that you see around my neck and around my waist are people that continue to go on stage with me wherever I am or whatever country I am, because I'm never alone, even though I am a solo independent artist and all that good stuff. So the shirt that I'm wearing actually is one of our very first original of the thing that I'm looking at when we decided, instead of going down and face the racist Nazis and stuff like that, we decided to hold an event. And that is the shirt that I'm wearing. That means this shirt is like 12 years old. People never believe me when I say all my clothes come from community events and stuff like that. I don't shop for nothing, but it's true. If you ever watch the pictures and pay attention to the stuff, it breaks the fatigue of trying to be fashionable, because most people don't like it anyway. Anyway, how do you get to this point? How do you go through everything from Iran to Israel to Ukraine to food shortages to oil shortages? My condolences. I didn't see it too much, but it was everybody that they found out in the river last week on the east side and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Well, you have a Bible or Bible, depending on how you call it. So that way, when me and Brother Washington are not in these seats or out in the streets, there's somebody that can have a foundation that they can lean on when provocateurs or anybody comes and tries to tell you, well, the shirt you're wearing should be green instead of blue because we like blue, but this is my organization.
That's right. We already had that fight, so I don't know if they're pulling up again.
Yeah. When we used to meet, and you never know, we may go back to having a group of people, but we've kind of gotten used to the podcast now. But we used to meet back in the day where we'd sit around a round table, kind of like nights and stuff like that, and talk about problems of the community, bring people in. And because of the pandemic, we changed it to this model where it's individual people instead of a group of people asking somebody, what do you got going on in the city? So when we're gone, and again, we thank you for watching, tuning in, leaving comments, sharing with your friends, telling your friend to come on the show, because this is not a trendy topic or toxic show. We're not here to ask you your political views, your social views, who you're sleeping with, what celebrity. We're here to see what you're doing in your community. Stuff that if you do go on the news, whether it be radio, TV, or newspaper, you're not going to be edited out. So you get to say what you need to say freely. And there's a kid in the room, so I can't say freely, but I would say.
Okay.
But anyway,
I got you.
Here's our mission statement. We are the Community Solidarity Response Network of Toledo, formed on November 25th, 2014, the day after it was announced that the killer, a Ferguson, Missouri police officer of Michael Brown, an unarmed teenager, would not be indicted. We bring awareness to the injustices experienced by Black men, women, and children who are disproportionately murdered, provoked, attacked, and harassed by law enforcement. Police brutality has to end. We bring awareness to the fact that most often, police brutality goes without consequence and accountability. Police impunity has to end. We utilize the tactics of protest, civil disobedience, event disruption, citizen advocacy to give voice to those who are otherwise voiceless. We facilitate progressive, community-based events that help foster self-development, and we discuss measures to hold local leadership accountable to their sworn duties, be they politician, clergy, law enforcement, educators, etc., etc. We want justice, equal justice under the law. We want justice applied equally to all, yes, all, regardless of class, creed, or color. For all lives to matter. Black lives, yes, Black lives must matter. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr.
And before we take a short break, I wanted to just mention regarding police brutality and police. Oh, I'm right there. But okay, all right. All right. Well, I'm gonna still look this way because I feel like I'm talking to somebody. All right. A few years ago, we realized that the city of Toledo and its civilian review board didn't have the teeth, didn't have all those things that we wanted in order to hold Toledo police accountable. So we formed the Community Solidarity Police Accountability Council, or as we call it, CSPARC. And as individual private citizens, we've come together to look at the video, look at the badge numbers, and determine ourselves if that meets the criteria to hold them accountable to move forward with criminal charges. And I think that up to now, you'd be hard pressed to find one of our premier organizations that would go that far. So we'll be meeting as a council of citizens and discussing if the Toledo police went beyond the what they call the color of law. And that's where qualified immunity ends, and some people say, well, don't they have qualified immunity, meaning that they won't be charged for the things that they do while they're on duty? Well, yes, for most cases, but not for all. And it's going to take us to decide to do something for ourselves. And if we're waiting for the city of Toledo to do it, I think that we'll be waiting a long time, Jody.
That's true.
All right. Hey, let's take a short break. We're going to be right back. This is the CSRN podcast, a weekend review. We'll be right back.
I'm Dr. P. Not only am I a leadership coach, I'm a change agent, and I'm a race scholar. I've used my study of race to dismantle systems and organizations, but I also use that to help you as the individual become a better leader for your families and for your community.
All right, we are back. This is the CSRN podcast, our weekend review. Man, it's always always think that we're going to have a smooth transition. Well, as long as we look like we're in student mode, we look more convincing, all right? Hey, listen, we're back. This is the CSRN podcast, our weekend review. And once again, big shout out to my Brent's Library. Now, there's a thing that we do at CSRN whenever we have a guest, and you're really family, but we're going to pretend just for the sake of sake, we ask who you are, where you're wearing, and what we're talking about. So who are you? What are you wearing? And what are we talking about today?
All right. Well, my name is Realtor Channon with the C. I am currently wearing a brown and beige or tan checkered dress that I got from Fashion Nova. And today we are talking about what I've been up to in real estate, as well as the community events I have coming up.
All right. So for the people that are tuned in and listening, how do you become a realtor? What's that process like?
Okay. Well, to become a realtor, you first have to take classes. I personally took about 3 weeks worth of classes.
All right.
And once I finished those classes, it was Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. Once I finished those classes, I then went on to take my test to get my licensure.
Okay.
You have to pass the federal and or state and local in order to become a realtor. Once you pass that test, you are then a licensed realtor. A lot of times they suggest that you go and you find what brokerage you want to work with before you go through the whole process, right, which is what I did. And I am a realtor with Howard Hanna.
All right. Now that you mentioned that, I wanted to put up a graphic. Maybe they'll take that banner down and we'll put up the graphic there, because you're not just a realtor. It says here, and I hope I get this thing right. It says Toledo offices sales leaders by unit. So I don't know what that's a pretty good picture of you right there.
Okay.
I think I'll buy a house. All right. I don't know what a unit is, but what is it that makes someone the Toledo office sales leader by units? What does that mean?
It just has to do with how many homes I sold.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And I see that I guess Kiana made it, Gail, Nancy. Where are the guys?
Yeah, I think the women we won this one this time.
All right, okay. Well, I guess there's a guy standing next to Nancy. All right, he account.
Yes, right. the women representing for the Howard Hanna Toledo office. That's for sure.
All right. So when it comes to that, why buy and not rent?
I mean, renting is great when you're starting out, right? So you can kind of feel the ropes of home ownership, or being on your own and being responsible for paying, bills and taking care of a place by yourself. But when you're renting, you're essentially paying someone else's mortgage. So why continue to invest in someone else? I mean, no matter what, we have to live someplace, right? So for the rest of our lives, we're going to need a home, right? So why not invest in yourself, purchase a home that one day you will have paid off, or if you so choose, you can sell it and make a profit, or you can rent it and be someone else's landlord. But individually, being a homeowner, you build equity. It's yours. You don't have to worry about someone telling you can't paint your wall blue, or you can't have a dog or a cat. And it just creates a sense of community. You're more grounded in the community when you own your home.
Do you think that that brings me to my next question? Yeah. Do you think there's some misconceptions or misunderstandings about who can buy a house? Because how I grew up, I didn't think that we could buy a house. I always thought that you had to have $20,000 down and, perfect credit. At least that's what I was hearing. And, maybe I wasn't hearing it right. So what's some of the misconceptions about who can buy a house?
Yeah. So one of the biggest misconceptions is a first-time home buyer. A lot of people think that a first-time home buyer literally means someone who is buying a home for the first time. Well, really what it means is that you have not owned a home in the past 3 years. So you could have bought a home.
Whoa, wait a minute.
Yes.
Wait a minute. Okay.
So you could have bought a home 6 years ago, sold it, and not have owned that home for 3 years, and you would be considered a first-time home buyer by definition.
Okay, yeah. All right. That just rocked my world right there, because I that's why we have you on. Yeah. All right. Okay, so that I'm not sharing misinformation. Okay. Man.
Another misconception is the amount of money that you need to have down.
Okay.
Typically for a conventional loan, you need about 3%. And for an FHA loan, you need about 3.5%. So it's nowhere near, the amounts that we have been, told over the years that you need to have a lot of money. It's just typically 3% of the purchase price or 3.5% of the FHA.
All right. Going through your page, we also saw that, you have a sense of humor. And yeah, I guess that's one of the things I don't want to say we stalk people's pages, but we got to know what we're talking about. There was a picture, Drake has the Iceman album, out, and you got the, buy that house. And why is it important at a time like now? You hear a lot of stuff about the economy. Why is it important now to buy a house?
I think that no matter where we are with the economy, when you're ready to buy a home, buy a home. Just when you get to that point in life, you're tired of renting, or you move into life right out of your parents' home, and the first thing you want to do is buy a home. When you're ready, buy the home. Do the homework. Make sure your credit score is good. Make sure that you have to get a home loan. I'll tell you this: to get a home loan, these are some things you need. You typically need a credit score of a 620 or higher. Okay. There are some lenders that can work with you with a credit score as low as 580. That will affect your interest rates. Mm-hmm. But if you have a 580, you can qualify for a home loan, especially at FHA. You need to have at least a year's worth of work history. So a solid year working at the same place. Okay. And then you need to have a low to moderate debt to income ratio.
Okay, so what is that, a debt to income?
Yeah. So typically they like for you to be right around have your debt no more than about 28% of your actual income. Okay. And what this just means is that, you aren't tapped out when it comes to things that you have to pay back. A common misconception is if you have an 800 credit score, you can qualify for a home loan or anything. But they also look at your debt to income ratio. You can have an 800 credit score, but if you have all your credit cards maxed out, you're not going to qualify for that home loan as much as you thought you were. So keep your debt to income ratio low, especially if you are interested in becoming a homeowner in the near future.
Mm-hmm. You've been selling homes for how many years now?
It'll be 8. It's 8 years this year total. I started in 2018.
Right. So what's rewarding about having someone close or buy their first home? You've been a part of that thing and seeing people get the keys.
Yeah. Okay. What's really rewarding to me is seeing, Black and brown people become homeowners. Mm-hmm. I think that we have been left out or excluded so much throughout history when it comes to home ownership. I love seeing young people grow up and decide that they want to be homeowners, despite all the misconceptions that they hear. And that's really rewarding to me. Another thing really rewarding to me is seeing women purchase homes. I myself, when I purchased my first home, I was on the verge of divorce. Yes, I was a realtor before I was a homeowner.
All right. Okay. Well, hey, we got to start somewhere, Jody. All right.
But it just really, I had made a promise to myself that by the time my oldest daughter was a freshman in high school, that I would be a homeowner, and I became a homeowner halfway through her freshman year of high school. Oh, wow. And I did it by myself at that point in time. And so I love seeing women, go out and purchase homes for themselves and for their children, just to give their kids that nice, solid foundation, and pave the way for home ownership for their children as well.
Yeah, and I think that when our children see us owning a home, they may not even know what it is, but they knew that there wasn't somebody upstairs that we had to say, keep it down. Or there wasn't anybody, on the floor under us playing loud music that we couldn't do anything about. And I think our children, they just observe that and they say, hey, look, I grew up in a home. So whatever they see, it's a great chance that that's going to be something that they want. So for you to be able to have that vision and want so that your child could actually see that.
Absolutely.
That's what they call that's a flex in itself, all right?
Absolutely. I love when parents bring their kids with them while they're shopping for home. I love the excitement on the kids' face when they're trying to determine what's going to be their room or where a playroom is going to go. And, you know, I enjoy it. I myself take my kids to a lot of the things that I do. So, you know, I love seeing the kids being excited. And it's just the whole process.
Okay. You know, we were going through your page today and we're like, man, we've got at least an hour and a half of content, but this is only an hour show, and Jody takes the other half. But I wanted to ask you about, man, I saw you teaching.
Yes.
I didn't know you were a teacher. I just thought that you had a lot of unique posts on other stuff. And you sold home. So what do you teach? How long have you been teaching it, and what's that like?
Oh, I mean, how long have I actually been teaching?
Yeah.
I mean, I've actually been a teacher since 2007. I started off working in a daycare. Okay. And then in 2008, I started and ran my own daycare for 9 years. I actually...
See, that's another thing, Jody. We didn't go all the way on her page to find out all these things. All right.
And I actually homeschooled my oldest 3 children for 6 years on the in-between. And for the past 2 years, I have been a substitute teacher with TPS. And last month, I was asked to come in and take over for middle school science at Rosa Parks for the remainder of the year. So I have been a middle school science teacher since last month.
Great. Who would have thought? All right. Who would have thought? All right. Man, there was something else I wanted to ask regarding being a realtor. All right. You also create a mission out of it. I mean, you being here and talking about not just buying a home, but some of the benefits and some of the cultural benefits that we receive from buying a home. When did it become kind of like a mission for you? I don't know if you view it as that. I see it as that. But when did it become something that you wanted to share with everybody?
Well, I think at heart, I'm an educator. And so one of the things I do is a first-time home buyers crash course, and it's totally free. I just did one last month here at my branch. I try to do them periodically, at least a couple throughout the year, just to educate people on the entire process of, you know, becoming a homeowner, how to, go from start to finish with purchasing a home. It's been a mission for me since, I want to say maybe for the past 4 years. It really became a mission for me to be able to educate people on home ownership, especially young people and especially Black and brown people. I just, like I said, I believe that there is a reason why it was withheld from us for so long to become homeowners.
Absolutely.
That it's important for us to become homeowners now that we have more accessibility, more programs available, like the City of Toledo's down payment assistance program.
I saw you posted about that too.
Yes, it's a great program.
Look, man, I had to really decide, okay, what am I going to post while you're on? There's a lot, and I didn't know about that until I saw your post.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know about it. Typically, every January, the City of Toledo releases funds. They have funds available for first-time home buyers, which I discussed what those were earlier. Like this year, they have $12,500 worth of down payment assistance available for qualifying individuals, and then up to $20,000 for qualifying individuals if they purchase a home in a targeted area, which includes the neighborhoods of Inglewood, which is where we are, Junction, and East Toledo.
Okay. All right. So for a lot of us, it's a great chance that I'll buy my home where I live. Mm-hmm. All right. And not only you could buy your home, but there is some assistance available too that, a lot of us didn't know. And some of us may be dissuaded to buy a home because we think that there's no assistance for anything like that, but it is.
Yeah.
It is. All right. And you talked about Inglewood, and I wanted to share a poster that we had saw earlier? Yes, on your page. Yeah, I don't even know what I was doing at work today. We were on your page. So there's a kids' clothing drive that's this Saturday.
Yes.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah, so my kids' clothing drive, last year I did a clothing drive for the community, and it was all ages, all sizes.
Mm-hmm.
We got a lot of things for adults, and Mott Branch Library always has a lot of kids up here. And they were asking, do you have this in my size, or do you have something in my size and everything? So this year I wanted to focus on kids. So it is this Saturday. 9:30, between 9:30 and 12:30, we're accepting donations. So if you have anything size infants through teen sizes, sometimes teens can be a lot taller than us, bigger feet than us. So essentially some adult sizes, but things like junior clothes styles and young men clothes styles. We're collecting those things this Saturday between 9:30 and 12:30 here at the Mott Branch Library. And then starting at 1:30, we are doing the giveaway, and that's going to last until 4:30. So anyone who wants to come up here and find something that they can fit, something they like, they're welcome. The kids, bring your kids up here this Saturday between 1:30 and 4:30. And if you have any donations, I would greatly appreciate that you be willing to drop them off at the library between 9:30 and 12:30 on Saturday.
And I want to give some shout outs to the sponsors, because man, it's big to be a part of something like this. So Howard Hanna is one of the sponsors. Inglewood is is that Operation Hope?
So that is Hope Connections.
Hope Connection.
Yes,
I need to stop
it's Hope
that.
Connections, and then Lincoln School Coalition.
And if anyone wants, they can connect with you or contact you at realtorshannon@gmail.com.
Absolutely.
Just email, or if they see Shannon with a C, online, they can also find out more about it. Drop off the donation collection is 9:30 a.m. to 12:30. The giveaway is from 1:30 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. And I wish I had some grandchildren. I do, but man, they're in Michigan, and we also had that conversation with my sons about buying their first home, and I can't wait to see them, continue that cycle of if you grew up in a home, hey, you should want one.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Last question. We wanted to talk about, why is that picture still up there? We wanted to talk about self-care and gratitude. With all that we've seen, from teaching to being a realtor, being a stakeholder in the community, and those just a few of the things that we gleaned from her page. I'm sure there's more, and that could be a podcast in itself. What's Shannon doing today? All right, I don't know. How do you balance at the end of the day or end of the week? What is it that you do?
Yeah, so I keep holy the Sabbath. You'll find that in Leviticus 23, to keep holy the Sabbath. That is our day of rest.
Mm-hmm.
I honor that. I Bible study on those days. I rest on those days. I really try not to take any calls or anything, at least from sunup to sundown. But I utilize that as my day of rest. And it has made a difference. I've been doing that for going on 2 years now. It has made a difference. And not just how I feel when it comes to self-care, but it's made a difference in my life.
And I liken it to, and for those of you that are watching, you can do that too. You can put your life on airplane mode, meaning that no one has access to you today. And after a while, people get it. Oh no, don't call Shannon. She ain't picking up today. So they'll call somebody else. They'll just scroll. Where's my phone? They'll just scroll and call somebody else. All right. So that's how I think also we can train our loved ones in how to treat us. And there's nothing better than taking some time, some spiritual, mental and emotional time for yourself too.
Absolutely.
And mean it, because as soon as you answer that call, the floodgates are open.
Yeah.
We are not taking you serious, all right?
Yeah.
All right. Next, gratitude, 3 things, Shannon, that you're grateful for. Would you mind sharing that with us?
Yeah. First and foremost, I'm grateful for Yah. He is my rock, my provider, my father, my heavenly father. And I'm very grateful for the favor and the blessings he's bestowed upon me. I am grateful for my fiance. Shout out to Thomas Nash.
All right, Thomas. All right, okay, Thomas. Hey, you said fiance, so there's a date coming up?
Absolutely.
All right, okay.
Yes. Yep, September 12th, Nash nuptials.
All right, so hey, she already put it out there, so you got to show up, bro. All right.
And I am very grateful for my children. I have 4 of them at different stages of life. 2 boys, 2 girls. I absolutely love them, cherish them, and everything I do is for them. Besides some shopping.
Okay,
I do that for me.
All right, cool. All right. Would you mind coming back, maybe sharing some of the things that you have coming up? And I don't know what you're going to be doing because there's so much. Would you mind coming back and sharing some more with us?
Yeah, absolutely. I do want to say that in June, on June 27th here at my branch library, and I'll put flyers out.
Okay.
I'm doing a summer toy drive as well. So we're looking for people to donate summer toys. You know, my vision is that we got to get kids back outside. We got to get them interested in playing and being physically active, using their imagination, and just being more sociable offline. So the summer toy drive is to encourage being outside and playing. You know, like Granny used to say, don't come back in here, stay outside.
Right. Man, we used to hate to come inside.
Yeah.
Now, like, we hate to go outside.
That is true. So I would like to see that turn around a little bit for this generation.
All right. And whatever CSRN can do to assist in that, man, you let us know. What is it that you think we could do? We'll make sure that we get the word out there. But if there's something else that we can do or purchase or whatever,
absolutely.
Let us know that too.
Absolutely. Right. Thank you.
This is all. Oh, anything else before we take a break and come back with Jody?
Just keep holy the Sabbath.
Yeah.
Get your rest.
Yeah.
Let some things wait. You know, eat fresh fruits and vegetables and drink lots of water.
Right. Hey, next time we're going to get on the diet too, all right? They're going to be mad at us, but that's all right. They're mad anyway. Hey, family, we'll be right back. This is the CSRN podcast, our weekly review. We'll be right back.
Canal. En esta hermosísima ciudad de Orlando.
I'm here in Barranquilla, Colombia, and in sunny Miami. Daytona Beach, mis amigos, that's where we're at today.
Desde la ciudad de Cartagena, Colombia.
We are in Orlando right now, here in Florida.
I'm Helene Sheets, Director of Marketing and Communications at beautiful Lourdes University, and we've been a proud sponsor and supporter of Voces Latinas TV for over a decade. It has been a fantastic partnership. It's been our doorway into the Latino community. We've met so many incredible people, created so many partnerships. Our students absolutely love the connections we've made through Voces Latinas TV, and we're looking forward to at least another decade, 2 decades.
If you can ride a bike without falling, then you're good to go. Bike Rides Matter, it's a community bike group. We get together for fun, fitness, and fellowship. We ride weekly. Right now we got a Tuesday ride where we ride on the UT Trail. We do Saturday right here at Uptown Green. That's our glow roll Saturday night. It was something I was already doing with my daughter, just riding bikes, and we just decided it would be cool to add the community because we were just finding ways to make fun given the situation. Being that everything was closed down and options were limited, bike riding is one of those things you can do without any restrictions.
You get to make new friends and just like interact with people, especially during COVID. You still like have your mask on and stuff, but it's still good to like see people.
It's a cool way to stay fit. We talk while we ride, and we got music while we riding. I've met quite a few new friends and new people. I made some real cool connections throughout the city. Take advantage of the time you have. Take advantage of this pandemic. I know it's a lot of restrictions, but you can be creative and find new ways to have fun, one of which is this right here.
All right, we're back. This is the CSRN podcast, our weekend review, Jody. It's about 6:47, so we're getting close to that time. So what I like to do is share a couple of stories from this week's Final Call newspaper. We recently got this week's Final Call newspaper. We get them delivered every Tuesday here in Toledo, and the Final Call newspaper truck showed up in Toledo earlier today. And this week's edition is Iran stands firm. It says, despite the U.S. and Israel's ongoing threats to Iran, negotiations continue and the Islamic Republic refuses to back down. And you find out more of that on page 4. And also check out the center article. This is from the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan talking about the oneness of God through Abraham, Moses, Jesus, and Muhammad. So check out that article too. We got more in common than you think. All right, for real. Jody, I want to also transition to the first article. This is regarding Cuba. And where's my I had
some stuff there.
No, I thought I had. Oh, here it is. Man, I'm not doing good on my. This is Cuba slams U.S. indictment of Raul Castro, calling it political provocation. If you don't know who Raul Castro is, he's the brother to Fidel Castro. And after the passing of Fidel Castro, his brother took the helm of the president of Cuba. And this is from the Final Call newspaper. It says, acting U.S. Attorney General Todd Blanche announced the indictment at Miami's Freedom Tower, a historic site associated with Cuban migration to the United States. Federal prosecutors allege that Raul Castro, who served as head of Cuba's Revolutionary Armed Forces at the time, ordered the destruction of the aircraft. The indictment includes charges of conspiracy to kill U.S. nationals, destruction of aircraft, and 4 counts of murder. The legal action comes more than 30 years after the February 24, 1996 indictment. And if you've been watching America recently, Jody, America just does not care. They will come to your country and get your president.
Yeah. Blockade, your blockade.
Yeah.
All kinds of stuff.
Right. The next article that I wanted to highlight is what happened in, what was that? I think it was in San Diego, where it says community mourn the lives of 3 Muslims slain at the Islamic Center in San Diego. The attack is being investigated by authorities as a possible hate crime. And this is from the Final Call newspaper. It says the aftermath of a fatal attack at an Islamic center has left the community shocked. The Southern California community of San Diego has been devastated by the actions of 2 teenage suspects who reportedly killed 3 men at the Islamic Center in San Diego on May 18th. It says, according to the San Diego Police Department, Caleb Vasquez and Kane Clark, 118 and 117, parked at the center's lot and ran past Amin Abdullah, a security guard engaged in gunfire with him. Mr. Abdullah returned gunfire and initiated lockdown protocol via his radio before being fatally shot and killed by suspects. Mr. Abdullah's action delayed and deterred access to the greater area of the facility, said police. After encountering the security guard, the suspects entered the building, accessed a few empty areas and rooms, and exited through the door, through the parking lot. So our prayers go with that, with those families and that brother that was on security. One of the things that we do in the Nation of Islam is we make sure that our mosque is secure. Before you come in, there's a search protocol. And I think that every place of worship needs security. Has to be actively engaged, because we're in a crazy time right now.
Yeah, there was another attack on the White House this week too.
Right, and there's well, Jody, right, but to be aware and be on post, especially if you're somewhere like a faith institution where people think that you should be able to go in and out without trouble. Hey, the last article is by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, and the article is entitled "The War Against Obesity, Part 3," and it says that we live on a planet that is live, with full of energy. If we're to live long, healthy lives, we must eat foods that gives us energy, keeps us moving against the force of gravity. Gravity is a force that inclines all things on the earth and to the earth. Regardless of age, you be careful that you do something in terms of exercise to resist the force of gravity. You come up out of the earth, the force of gravity is created, the motion of the earth that is pulling us. So one of the things that we have to do, and I'm speaking to, and I'm looking in the mirror when I say this, is to be a bit more active, be mindful what we eat, and also get some exercise. And now that we're back in the garden, Jody, we can get some sun too. All right, I think that's it on my final call stories of this week. What we wanted to do right now is I wanted to process a question with you. You've been doing our 5 minutes of heat for, I guess, 12 years. Mm-hmm. All right. And for you, what is it that makes a good poem?
A real poem. Especially in this day and age of everything becoming AI and stuff like that, and people are beginning to accept it a little bit more. Like, you're not talented, you're not creative, you didn't sacrifice no time, no heart, no blood, no energy, no nothing like that. Go to AI. So a lot of things, including the school systems, what's going on with our healthcare system, and in the arts community, from whether you have digital art, literature, Amazon now has put a restriction on how many books you can actually put out because people are just putting out garbage. Same thing is going on in the music industry. If you noticed, a lot of the streams that are going on, a lot of people are stealing people's identity or images and stuff like that. And of course, the songs are popular because there's no actual work put into it. It's just working off of what somebody else has already created. One thing out of my career that I made especially a point to do is I write everything out of 7 independent books, 33 anthologies, 3 more coming out this year, 1 more coming out, and that's across all mediums, from newspaper to submissions to anthologies to the 700 or so videos that's up on YouTube, or 1,200 videos that's across social media. That is all mine. I don't. It's weird because I know in slam it's different because you got the 310 and then you gotta have your phone. But nowadays some people are getting complacent with the fact that I just want a love poem, so let me put in a prompt. As long as I learn it, it's not the same thing. A lot of artists, including myself, are very object to that. That's why you see all the AI stuff now on post. But people, will find a way to be less creative because they're only focused on the monetary aspect of what art is. And as many great legends, including myself, I guess now I can tell you, art is part of the suffering. People find out really quickly when you're not. And I've had some friends in the art community tell me a lot that now they're starting to get deleted and blocked. I'm not going to delete or block anything. I'm just going to move away from your table. We all in the same room on the same planet and stuff, but I don't have to, whatever I feel about it, because I know the environmental impact. I know that when I go to things now, it's just like all the AI flyers and stuff. You're taking somebody's job. You're taking somebody's water. Our future generation is going to think that it's okay that this piece is good-ish, or stuff like that. And especially if you are a performer. Now, I know the music industry is a different than that, but poetry in itself, speaking in itself, should come from your soul. And people can tell after some point in time, because a lot of people get comfortable with that whole thing. Oh yeah, I've been creating stuff and making money for a while, so they'll let it slip. And then when the community is like, nah, you good, or we ostracize you, then you get mad and stuff. And heck, even if it's been like you did one poem and all the rest of yours, it makes it hard to trust you because what did you do that one poem for? That's the point of it. It's your time, your energy. You're trying to speak real life into people, not garbage. But anyway.
All right. Earlier today. All right. Hey, I asked the question. I got an answer. We said earlier is May is Lupus Awareness Month, and if you look at our screen, it's in the lower right-hand corner. What are some of the other things that's going on in the community that you think people need to know?
All right. 1 second here. Respond to somebody. So, as always with the updates and stuff, we're going to take it back until today, and then we're going to go forward. Starting with Wednesday, May 20th, there was Dooley's Blues at Riverside Barbecue Company. If you don't know where that's at, that's in the historic Vistula area, where I'm one of the board members over there, and that is 915 Summit Street. Going into also Wednesday, there was the Downtown Songwriters Night at the Blarney Event Center. That is, it was hosted by Kyle White, Danny Harness, and Aaron Crop. Hopefully I said that right, but that's 39 Huron. And that was from 7 to 10 p.m. Also Wednesday, where you'll most likely find me, especially as I'm getting into my summer schedule, is the Poetry and Soul Sessions with Kay Renee. They had an awesome show. We had Ahmed Peace Behringer of Poetically Divine and Joni McKintrey, who is our former poet laureate. And also just to let everybody know, the Arts Commission is looking for a new poet laureate. So make sure you vote Kay Renee. That's my vote. That's probably a lot of the community's vote.
Are you not? Can we nominate you?
You can nominate me, but I would prefer you nominate Kay Renee.
Okay.
I'm putting hats and capes up this year so I can spend time with my family more, and that does require a lot of responsibility that I have enough on my shoulders at the moment. And I think
Kay Renee.
Kay is good. She has her own show she's hosting. She just released a book. I believe she's got another one coming out. So she would fit that market very well as the requirements, because it's not just like, oh, I'm poet laureate. No, you actually have to set up things like Joni did. She was doing an event at least twice, maybe once a month, to help poets get out there to be more comfortable. It's not just about having a title, it's about improving the community that you're in. So, yeah, and right now my schedule is just a little bit different from that. So, K. Renee, follow her, go to the Arts Commission page and do all that good stuff. Thursday, May 21st, there was the ethereal life drawing with the Contaminator crew. A friend of mine I met way back in the beginning of my career. That was at Handmade Toledo, and it was from 6 to 9 p.m.
Yeah, that's right there on Adams, right?
Right there on Adams. Also, Thursday, May 21st, there was the artist reception. Israel Douglas, a good friend of mine and stuff. She's a photographer and everything. She had hers at 151 North Michigan, and that is the Wicked Palette, which just had its grand opening as well. So this was their first reception that they're having. Shout out to her. That was from 6 to 8 p.m. I'm pretty sure, guessing you can go up and view it. You can probably just check Wicked Palette and find out what their hours are before they have a closing ceremony. There was also, after the grand opening, Saturday, May 23rd, Mind and Soul Gallery, which is the Old Rivers, East River Gallery. Chris Rodriguez, everybody, that crew over there, they had their grand opening. Sorry I missed it, I had to work. And sorry I missed it, I had to work. But the studio opening is 500 Madison Avenue. So hopefully I will be off when they do their next exhibit and stuff. It looks amazing in there. And going forward, we had Plants, then Prince, Artisan Ice Cream Shop. They had their grand opening for Swanky Scoops. I've seen them a lot during the Arts Commission, and they've come out. They have delicious ice cream and everything like that. They are located at 144 South Huron Street. If you want to go check out their establishment and everything like that. Moving forward, Saturday, May 23rd, we had Coffee and Conversation at Ground for Thoughts, and that is 124 South Main Street in Bowling Green. That's a friend of mine, Brina Reynolds. She's running for a seat in political offices and stuff like that. So if you're able to make it, Saturday, also May 23rd, there was an artsy and bookie night, a night market experience at 1505 down there by the water, of course, our riverfront that we're building up, which we are, they say, halfway through completion for the Glass City River Walk. So there was a lot of vendors and everything. That was at 4 p.m. all night long. I believe they had, over 40 vendors, something like that. So hopefully everybody came out and shopped and all that good stuff. Sunday, May 24th, there was the Multi-Faith Service Day at Urban Holistics, Summer Organics, right down the street. They had their event at 1 p.m. Going forward, we had the Glass City Jubilee, a day of art, music, and community. And this was Sunday, May 24th. And speaking of May 24th, I want to give a huge shout out and congratulations to some of the very first people I interviewed when I started radio back in 2011. Yeah, 2011, when I was part of Cast Off, Power 109.9, the radio show and everything. Boom Clip released the Drop movie. They had their premiere at the Mommy Theater, indoor theater and everything like that. They came over to Cliche. Make sure you come out to Cliche. Shameless plug for all of us.
Right there on Alexis, right?
Right there on Alexis.
Old Lighthouse.
The old Lighthouse Bar and Grill and everything like that. We are open. We are not just an event center as we're getting out there more. We are open Thursday through Sunday from 6 to midnight, Thursday and Sunday, and from 6 to 1 on Friday and Saturday. I'm in the kitchen. It's a great vibe in there. If you ever come out to see the videos and stuff like that. But shout out to them.
To-do list.
Yep, we have a cigar room, probably the largest patio in the city. It wraps all the way around and all that good stuff. This summer, we're going to be utilizing that a lot. You can set up your VIP parties and events and stuff there. But again, shout out to Boom Clip, Young Chuck, and T Diamond, and can't remember everybody, but T-Ski and everybody that I used to interview back in the day, long before I became a poet, long before I became an entertainer, I had books and stuff like that. I was doing this same thing on the radio, just interesting. And they're one of the few groups, actually the only group that I can think of, Toledo, that's actually been together this long and continue to produce music and to go on to other ventures.
Good for them.
Shout out to them. I also want to give a shout out. Today is the last day because now we are moving forward into what's going on today portion. The No Love movie is having its final production going on today. I want to say it's at 7:30. So if you're able to make it, unfortunately, I've been able to be busy somehow all of these times, but I shout out to Fierce and Aaron and everybody involved in that filming project. It's been beautiful to see that it's been going on for multiple viewing sessions and everything like that. Today is the last one, unless they announce more before it moves on to other things. Also upcoming this week, happening right now as well, is TRL, the Toledo Listening Room open mic, and this location is at the Black Kite. So they alternate every other week or every 2 weeks. They do it twice a month.
All right.
One time is the Handmade, one time is the Black Kite. Tonight they are at Black Kite. If you do love poetry and open mics and all of that good stuff. Also, there is a new open mic going on, and it's located at Toll House. They're having an R&B poetry night, stuff like that. So that is hosted by, going down the page real quick, just make sure I find them. I try to search all this stuff, but they're calling themselves Unplugged Soul Sessions.
Okay.
And that is from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. with host DJ Lou, hosted by Juan Thomas, and there's karaoke, open mic, R&B vibes, all that good stuff. So if you're looking for a different vibe and a different spot, that is at Toll House inside Lucille's, most likely, for all of that. And coming up the rest of this week, of course, we've talked about Channon, but I'm going to go back to that. But I'm going to get you to the rest of this week, which is thing right here. So also coming up this Friday at 6 p.m. is the One City Mini Moments closing reception at 1401 Adams. I believe that is, yes, that's the Toledo School for the Arts.
Okay.
So there's a closing reception for One City Mini Moments. And this Friday at 8 p.m., there is the last Saturday Tech Toledo pre-party. That's going to be at Toledo Spirits Company, going on at 8 p.m. I know they have a big thing going on this summer. They've been announcing it where it's like DJ, R&B, or not R&B, but DJ, EDM, techno music, and all that good stuff. So hopefully, if I'm
glad you said this, so I don't show up to the wrong thing. All right, but you don't know what I'm going to show up to, all right?
So also this Saturday at noon, Village of Legacy has its first or second, I believe it's the second, open house where you can come and talk about what they got going on for the community. That is 130 10th Street. Shout out to Tori Easley and doing all that stuff for the community. It is May 30th, 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. Also this Saturday is the 20th annual Blowout Bash Chili Mac Spaghetti Dinner at the Monroe Street Church, put on by Toledo Area Jobs with Justice. It is a ticketed event.
They've been big supporters from CSRN
very
for years.
Big supporters of ours over the years. And there are a couple more things, of course, when we talk about Channon with C. Her kids' clothing drive, and that is the clothing drive or the donation collection is from 9:30 to noon. The giveaway is from 1:30 to 4:30.
Yeah, it's 9:30. Well, they probably changed the flyer, but it's 9:30 to 12:30 for the donations. Or that's donation collection.
1:30 to 4:30.
And then the giveaway, 1:30.
And moving forward on May 30th, Toledo has spoken, and the Sacred Steel Workshop and Community Gospel Jam is going on. That is Dale Grace, and he's over there at the Collingwood Church. That is 2108 Collingwood and Floyd Street. So I will probably be there.
All right.
The Sacred Steel Community Jam is from 12 p.m. to 1:30. Toledo Has Spoken is from 3 p.m. until 4:30. And that is all the stuff that I believe I see. Shout out to Tracy, and again, make sure you get your Heart Jam tickets and all that good stuff that's coming up. I know we will be actually sponsoring, which is coming up as well, the Toledo Lock Show. I did some budgeting and stuff like that, so you will probably see our sponsorship on the Toledo Lock Show. So shout out to Sunkiss. She's got some other things coming up. She's having a stroke and sip. This is going to be at the Blarney Event Center, and that is going to be Sunday, June 12th. But before that, she has something going on. Poetry at the Patio is coming back May 30th, June 27th, and August 1st. So that is going to be 5 p.m. Cover is 5. Mine starts at 5:30.
We didn't mention that. The week after next week, all right?
Well, that's this weekend.
Oh, okay.
The 30th is the Poetry and Patio. The Stroke and Sip is going to be before or after we do the Lock Show.
Okay.
So this is another thing that's going on.
Oh, okay.
She's looking for more places to expand and everything like that. And finally, shout out to Open Island. Just seen it the other day. All of our movies and stuff, as we were talking about with Lepo Productions. So my movie is up. I've shared it to my page and stuff with the perfect shot. And we have our behind the scenes, kind of get you to see what the empty seat was like if you missed it and you do want to book us for a show. So you can go directly on YouTube, look up Lepo Productions, and you'll see our trailers and the movie intro that I'm in and all the other stuff, good stuff like that. Yep.
All right. And a couple of weeks ago, we had the opening for Eden Urban Garden. And join us every Sunday, 4 p.m., 300 block of Boston Place. It's an awesome vibe there. We had our peach tree planted. We shared some video.
The sun gave us some time for some peaches, some potatoes, and to cut the grass.
And growing your own food is like printing your own money. And at one point, we are going to have to consider, all right, that growing your own food and some other survival stuff that we'll share at another time. Because I definitely think that we are headed towards some challenging days. We're not going back to the feel-good times of the 80s or what you thought was a feel-good time. We're not going back to 2007 when everybody was proud of candidate Obama to become president. It's done, all right? The most valuable resource that you can have are the relationships that you have with those that you love. So strive to settle your differences, all right? Because we're all we got. Jody, if people want to support us, they can log on to, they can log on and follow us on Instagram, Facebook. They can listen to us on Spotify or watch us on YouTube as we're doing right now. Just go ahead and go to YouTube and subscribe, like, share, click the notification so that every time we have a podcast, you'll be the first to know. And if you want to support us via Cash App, that's the hashtag CSRN Toledo 419. PayPal is CSRN 419. We do have the Black Lives Matter signs, and yet we're still on defunding the Toledo Police Department. So give us an inbox, get your defund the police sign. We have one in the studio. If you come by here between hours of, 6 and 7:30, we'll have Jody sign it for you. You can take it home with you. All right, next is, as we close out, is Man's Lupus Awareness Month. And we close out with something called 5 Minutes of Heat. And that comes from the song 5 Minutes of Funk by Houdini. And for the past 12 years, Jody has been that go-to person for 5 Minutes of Heat. And even though we're also celebrating the 6-year anniversary of what I call, we call May Day or Tear Gas Saturday, when we had our Toledo Police Accountability Rally downtown Toledo at the corners of Erie and what's that, Jackson, right in front of
the police station. The reason why they had to put up them chains that they do right now, put them posts in, because we had that spot covered.
And that changed everything in activism. And also, we still got a couple of those in the chamber. But right now we're going to be doing some different things to hold Toledo Police accountable. All right, but for 5 minutes of heat, what do you have for us today?
Well, as this being the last week that we'll be on air for Mental Health Awareness Month, I actually, this was last week when I left the show, talked to my cousin, did some stuff. Another thing that people don't know, my independent books, after I publish them and write them, I make sure that you are part of Congress too, if you are part of the library. Brother Washington has a couple pieces, so if you inspire a piece, even if it's a word or a line, you will be going into the library. So my cousin, we were talking after I left the show and stuff like that, and he had said something and sparked me to write something, and then I came up with an acronym, which is only the second acronym that I've ever come up with in my career for a poem. And the last one was Nostalgic Information Glamorizing Graveyard Adventures, inspired by Deborah Sue. This one is called, and I'll see if you get it, I'm not going to tell you until the end what the acronym is. It is called Heavy Emotions Aggressively Leading into New Growth. So let's begin. Peace. I didn't know healing was going to hurt this bad. Healing feels like hell, and I'm always losing parts of myself that I thought were constant and well-structured. But turns out the foundation was badly constructed with loose parts and missing pieces that really didn't fit the person I was becoming. That inspection tags were expired, and in order for anything to get done, people actually have to show up. I keep showing up to this job site by myself because I have to show up for me, even if no one else is. This is an ironclad, unbreakable contract that only time has the right to end. I didn't know healing was going to hurt this much. Most of the dreams I had got squandered in bad investments and time spent on people who really were just looking for a quick fix. Not a completed project that they could grow into, but something just to take off the market and sell off as quickly as possible. So no one notices they're in emotional debt and unable to reciprocate anything because all they know how to do is take and disappear. I didn't know healing was going to cost this much. I keep running into people who helped me find parts of myself I did not know were lost because I was so focused on everybody else. I forgot to actually pay attention to myself, and it cost me years that I may never get back. So I'm taking every moment I have left to appreciate myself and anyone that stands with me when the storms come. I didn't know healing meant you could never go back. I can pray and hope that things will be okay, but I sit in the room with devils and have no idea that I can see through their veil, wade through their manipulation, and walk away unfazed because I lost my innocence a long time ago. And even though it hurts, heavy emotions aggressively leading into new growth is part of the process. And peace.
And as always, we snap our fingers, all right?
I just realized the architectural point of that, like the home buyer stuff.
All right. And I also was able to spell out the acronym, all right?
Yes.
So I got it. All
so
right.
The poem is called Healing. The acronym is healing. Yeah, all that stuff.
All right. And so what can people expect next week from our show?
Next week, hopefully a new poem. If not, I'm not sure if I've run through everything from 30 days. Because again, I'm also making videos 2-3 times a month. So I'll look at our past shows, and there's probably still a couple. I don't think I've done Not a Love Poet, maybe Analog. I know I did Getting Older, maybe Come With Me Bro. There's a lot still that I haven't said from.
Well, maybe next week we'll talk ahead of time, and maybe we'll put one of those polls on there. All right.
Okay.
All right. So. All right, and more work. But as always, all lives can't matter until what? Black lives matter, and Black lives can't matter until All Black Lives Matter. Justice or else?
Yeah.
Peace. All right, great job, Jody. Thank you, Channon.